What's going on YouTube? It's your boy. In this video, we talking about the shortest NBA players. If there is one prevailing stereotype in all of basketball, especially NBA, it's that height is might. A matter of fact, ESPN's hotly contested top players of all time list, half of the top 10 stand at least 6'11", and that helps carry the stereotype that height is indeed might. While that's true, however, there are always exceptions to that. There are a handful of short players that have incredible careers among huge points and assist totals. In fact, many of them played more than 10 years in the league. Welcome to Sports Plug TV, and in this video, we're discussing the top 10 shortest players of all time. Let's get to it. TERREL Brandon, 5 feet 11 inches. The 11th pick of the 1991 NBA draft by the Cleveland Cavs, TERREL Brandon had himself a slow start to his NBA career, but he was a backup to All-Star guard Mark Price. However, he finally got his opportunity his 4th year in the league. Filling in for an injured Price, TERREL grabbed the chance to showcase his skills and ran with it, bringing the Cavs with him on an 11-game winning streak that put everyone on notice. Cavs were confident that they found their franchise point guard, and they traded Price the next season and handed TERREL the full-time starting job. TERREL certainly did not disappoint as he became an All-Star in '96 and in '97. He was so impressive that the GOAT himself, Michael Jordan, took a liking to him. Sports Illustrated even labeled him the best point guard in the NBA in a 1997 issue. That was an unforgettable season for him as he led the Cavs in points, assists, and steals. But then boom, Cleveland gave him a trade away to the Bucks and a move that landed the Cavs then superstar Shawn Kemp. We wonder how that went though. TERREL would be traded again, this time to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Up with KG, TERREL helped the Timberwolves to their 50-win season in 1999-2000. And he put in averages of 17 points, 9 assists, and 2 steals. But injuries would soon hamper his career, and he retired at 31 with career averages of 13.8 points, 6.1 assists per game. Next is my boy CP3, 5 foot 11 inches. While he's listed as 6 foot with shoes on, real height is probably just around 5 foot 11. Despite standing less than 6 feet, he has carved out a Hall of Fame career, considered to be one of the best point guards to ever play the game. This won the NBA Rookie of the Year award, an NBA All-Star MVP award, and 2 Olympic gold medals. Natural ball distributor and floor general, he led the NBA in assists 4 times. He was just as lethal on the defensive side of the ball as on offense. This is one of the most menacing defensive hounds in the game, having led the league in steals 6 times. And he has been named to the All-Defensive Team 9 times. Also presided over one of the most exciting teams in LA Clippers history. After getting traded from New Orleans to Los Angeles, Chris hit the ground running and the team soon became Lob City. Their fast-paced offense and spectacular alley-oop dunks, usually to Blake Griffin or DeAndre Jordan. But all that excitement eventually fizzled out as Chris could not get the Clippers over the hump. He was then traded to the Rockets in 2017 and immediately made an impact, meshing with James Harden for a high-powered backcourt that would reach the Western Finals only to fall to the Golden State Warriors. After the Rockets were once again eliminated by the Warriors in 2018, CP was traded to OKC, a team that was supposedly rebuilding, but has instead turned into a legit Western playoff team. Even in his 14th year, Chris continues to be one of the very best point guards in the league, averaging 17.7 points, 4.9 rebounds, 6.8 assists, 1.6 steals per game. Next at 8, Allen Iverson, 5 feet 11 inches. Allen Iverson optimizes the old saying, "It's not the size of the dog in the fight, but it's the size of the fight in the dog." Like Chris Paul, Iverson was listed generously as 6 foot guard, when in reality he's a lot closer to 5'11". Known for his blazing speed, scoring ability, and relentless grit, Iverson certainly did not shy away from any contact, amassing a remarkable 8,168 free throw attempts for his career. When the dust settled on his 14-year career, Iverson left an indelible impact on not just the NBA, but the game of basketball as well. ESPN even ranked him as the 5th best shooting guard of all time, but really he like 4th. A 4-time NBA scoring champion, 11-time All-Star, and 2001 MVP, Iverson's most impressive feat was leading the Sixers to the NBA Finals in 2001. They lost to the Lakers in 6 games. Great as Iverson was, many said he could have been a lot better if he had more discipline. In fact, his most famous rant involved his apparent aversion to practice. After his stint for the Sixers ended, Iverson went on to play for the Denver Nuggets, Detroit Pistons, and Memphis Grizzlies before ending his NBA career with the Sixers during the 2010 season. He finished his playing career in Turkey with 2011 and returned as a players coach for the Threes Company for the season of the Big Three. Next in at 7, Damon Stoudemire, 5 feet 10 inches. The highest drafted player to come in officially under 6 feet is Damon Stoudemire, who was taken 7th. The Toronto Raptors during their first NBA season back in 1996. Named Mighty Mouse for his fearless style of play, Stoudemire was an excellent scorer and distributor early in his career. With the Raptors, the lefty averaged 19 points and 9.3 assists per game in his rookie season, en route to be named the NBA Rookie Player of the Year. Damon's season-defining moment, though, would come late during his rookie year. March 24th, 1996 will forever live in Raptors history as one of the most memorable moments the franchise was a part of. Damon was a huge part of that. It was the day Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls went to Canada to play the Raptors at the legendary Sky Dome. The Bulls were welcomed by 36,000 fans, which was a record for the number of visitors on a Raptors game. Those fans would not go home disappointed. Behind 30 points and 11 assists from Damon, the Raptors earned an impressive win over MJ and the Bulls, 109-108. He might have been diminutive in stature, but that was Damon's grit, and he was surely immeasurable on that night. After dropping 14 points in the first half, and then the 22-year-old exploded for 16 more in the second, 24 minutes of play, all dealing with Jordan on defense. Quote by him, "I just try to go out there and do what I do best."
Well, no, I just try to go out there and play my game and do what I do best, and that's penetrate and kick and, try to make things happen.
Stoudemire said after the game, and that's penetrate, kick, and try to make things happen. After stops in Portland, Memphis, and San Antonio, Damon finished his 13-year NBA career with averages of 13.4 points and 6.1 assists per game. Nowadays, he's currently a head coach for the Pacific Tigers men's basketball team in the NCAA. Next, we have Avery Johnson, was also another fantastic player who didn't have height. Nicknamed the Little General for his diminutive stature but incredible presence and leadership, Johnson went on to play a pivotal role in the 1999 championship-winning Spurs as he hit the game-winning, series-clinching shot in Game 5. He played 16 seasons in the NBA from 1988 to 2004, going from one team to another in his first 10 years. But it was his time with the Spurs that was most memorable. The Spurs retired Johnson's number 6 on December 22, 2007, and he was also inducted into the San Antonio Sports Hall of Fame. After his playing career, Johnson took his leadership skills and became a very capable head coach. In fact, he coached Dallas to the 2006 finals where they lost to D. Wade and the Miami Heat. The following season, Avery led the Mavericks to a league-best 67-15 regular season record, but only to be upset by the Golden State Warriors in the first round. After he was fired by Dallas, Avery went on to coach the Brooklyn Nets for 2 years, before moving on to coach University of Alabama in the NCAA from 2015 to 2019.
Our new men's basketball coach, Coach Avery Johnson.
Next at 5, Michael Adams, 5 feet 10 inches. Another diamond in the rough, Michael Adams flew under the radar. The 1985 draft was taken 66th overall by the Sacramento Kings. He only averaged 2.2 points in 18 games during his rookie year and was let go after that year. He bounced around a bit before finding his home in Denver Nuggets. Performance during the 90-91 season would be unforgettable as he came out of nowhere averaging 26.5 points and 10.5 assists per game. After that breakout season, he rejoined the Bullets with a trade, during which time he appeared in his only NBA All-Star game in 1992. One of the few push shot shooters in the NBA, Adams scored 9,621 career points and amassed 4,209 steals. Adams finished with career averages of 14.7 points, 6.4 assists, respectable numbers for a guard of any size, much less that one is 5'10". And then at 4 is Nate Robinson, 5 feet 9 inches. Nate stands at at 5'9", but make no mistake, Nate has above the rim capabilities. He is the very first 3-time winner of the Sprite Slam Dunk Contest, winning in 2006, 2009, and in 2010. His most famous slam is when he jumped over 6'11" center Dwight Howard for the slam dunk clinching victory. Nate was drafted 21st overall in 2005 and spent time playing with the New York Knicks, Boston Celtics, OKC, Golden State, Chicago, Denver, New Orleans, and the LA Clippers. His time with the Knicks and Bulls was his most memorable though. Aside from winning all those slam dunk titles, Robinson is one of the most primal participates in the brawl between the Denver Nuggets and the Knicks. Scrap with Nuggets guard J.R. Smith landed in the seats and he was suspended for 10 games. Then while playing for Chicago against the Miami Heat in the semifinals in 2013, Robinson scored 27 points and 9 assists in Game 1. That stunned the defending champions and they took a 1-0 lead. Of course, the Bulls lost the next 4 and Miami went on to repeat as the champion. Kerr, then television analyst, said Robinson's performance in 2013, they might have to put a statue of this guy outside the building right next to Michael. Kevin Kraft of The Atlantic said that the guard won't be the most valuable player in the NBA postseason, but thus far, he's its most entertaining. Next at 3 is Spud Webb, 5 feet 6 inches. Much like Nate Robinson, Spud Webb will always be remembered for his high leaping ability, which he showcased in the dunk competition. 1986 at Dallas Reunion Arena. His mere participation in the event was already a huge surprise, even to his own Atlanta Hawks teammate named Dunk King Dominique Wilkins. The incredible array of dunks included the elevator 2-hand double pump dunk, the off the backboard one-handed jam, 360-degree helicopter one-handed dunk, a reverse double pump slam, and finally, the reverse 2-handed strawberry jam from a lob bounce off the floor. He bested Wilkins with a 2 perfect 50-point scores in the final round. His dunks exploit notwithstanding, Spud was a pretty solid NBA guard who played for 12 years. He was drafted in the 4th round in 1985, playing his rookie season with the Atlanta Hawks and averaging 7.8 points in 15.6 minutes. The best year of his career was the 91-92 season with the Sacramento Kings, where he averaged 16 points and 7.1 assists per game. Spud also led the NBA in free throw shooting in his last season in Sacramento, shooting 93.4% in the 94-95 season. Spud then split a season between the Atlanta Hawks and the Minnesota Timberwolves before ending his career with the Orlando Magic and retiring from professional basketball in 1997. In all, Spud played 814 games in the NBA, averaging 9.9 points and amassing 8,072 points and 4,342 assists. He is currently the president of basketball operations for the Texas Legends, the G League team for the Dallas Mavericks in Frisco, Texas. As the list goes on, height shrinks, but Earl Boykins is the second shortest NBA player of all time. Standing only 5'5", Earl was the lightest too, at only 133 pounds. After going undrafted in 1999 draft, Boykins spent his NBA years going on from team to team. His longest stint though was with the Denver Nuggets when he played from 2003 to 2007. Despite his size, Boykins was known to be an exceptional scorer. He even dropped 32 points against the Pistons, earning the record as the shortest player in the NBA to score over 30 points. He also averaged 3.2 assists per game, which is impressive for someone who only averaged 20 minutes per game. Earl's best season came when he was 30 years old in 2006-2007. That season, he averaged 15.2 points for the Denver Nuggets and Milwaukee Bucks. Boykins played until he was 35 years old and retired with averages of 8.9 points in 19.9 minutes. He is now serving as an assistant coach for the Arkansas Razorbacks. Now for the top of the list, probably the most universally known for being short, and that is Tyrone Muggsy Bogues. The shortest player to ever put on an NBA uniform, Muggsy was taken 12th overall by the Washington Bullets in 1987, but only played 1 year before Charlotte Hornets took him in an expansion draft. But it was there in Charlotte that Bogues became a household name. There, he was established as an exceptional passer, a great stealer, and one of the fastest players on the court. Muggsy spent a decade with the Charlotte Hornets, led by Alonzo Mourning, Larry Johnson. They became one of the most popular NBA teams and a playoff contender. Muggsy became one of the most popular players in Hornets history. And did you know he's the Hornets career leader in minutes with 19,768, assists with 5,557, and leader in steals with 1,067. Muggsy moved on to play for Golden State and Toronto Raptors before eventually retiring in the 2000-2001 season. After his NBA career, he served as the head coach for the now defunct Charlotte Sting of the WNBA. And that does it. That's a wrap. That's the list of the top 10 shortest players. Hope you enjoyed. Give us a like, comment, subscribe if you're new. You know what I'm saying. Thank you for watching.
Now, who else besides Duncan will stand up for the Spurs? The championship.
John, that ball looked like 2 assists in this game, and then a steal.